Alright, what's up? I swear I haven't done this in a long time. I haven't made a video like this in quite some time, and it's because I've been super busy just trying to get working on the van, getting everything pretty much done so that I can drive it for the winter pretty much. Now it's just kind of fixing everything, fixing all the little stuff and getting it to exactly the way I want it. The other night I actually had to put a different alternator in it. This alternator is out of a 80s 4.3 5 liter 5.7, all those same alternator, right? The wiring unfortunately is different. I tried doing some little sketchy wiring just to see if it would work. Unfortunately it doesn't work, so I just ended up having to spend the money, get the different alternator, the right one for it. The reason why I mostly just wanted this one, it was pretty cheap to be honest. It was like $100, and because of this little like thing here, like it just looked good when it was in there. If you saw the last clip or you follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, follow me down below on Instagram, I'll leave the link. I post all my updates and everything on there, so just go check it out. Next thing, next thing. We went to the scrapyard today. We picked up a bunch of stuff, okay? A bunch of stuff that I needed for the van. As in one, we got a new fender because I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I am going to be going a custom wide body on the van later in the future, depending on what happens. But I picked up a fender so we can use that to make basically the new one because obviously mine are trashed. I cleaned up a bunch of wiring from the last time you guys saw. I fixed some stuff on the interior, and then I'm going to put it all back together and it should look pretty good. Some other stuff we got from the scrapyard. I got a bumper for the van, front bumper, because right now I don't feel like fabricating a front bumper. OEM fits. Let's stick with OEM. Today was a $60 anything you can carry basically day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should check out my Instagram because I will be posting a picture of what I was carrying basically, and you'll see that I had a core support. I found a van, yes, in here in Canada. I found a van that wasn't fully rotten away and the core support was actually good. Everyone knows that in Canada here, most of these core supports on these vans are gone. So for me to find one that was good, so took a Sawzall, cut it out, and now I'm going to be drilling the spot welds out of the one I have and basically welding it back into place just like factory. And we should be good. Obviously I'm going to sand it down, paint it and everything, but yeah. Also, I did get a steering box because my steering box is leaking so much, so I was lucky enough to find a steering box. Lots of the vans there had the steering box ripped out of it, and I was able to find one. So enough of me talking, let's get into it. Alright, so in the back here you can see that I did get my fender. Unfortunately this fender has a dent in it right here, which I actually did put in it. This fender was mint when I got it, you can see no rust, but I did put a dent in it, and I should be able to just hit that out and smoothen it up. It's nice and flat, so it should not be too hard. These right here are for the bumper. These are like when you get into an accident, these crush basically, and then it's like a cushion. So mine are actually really rotted out, so mine are terrible. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna grab these with that bumper. And steering box is in here. The thing is gross, I need to clean it off. Underneath here I've got a gauge cluster. This is actually the van I pulled it out of. That's in miles per hour. A little bit different, you don't see that too often, so that is an American van, and it's in miles per hour, but I want to make my own gauge cluster, so that's why I picked that one up. So you know what, mess around with that. I did pick up, since the interior on the van was blue, I got that little thing that goes across the front. Tools are a mess. As you can see, back here is a mess, so probably gonna clean all this up, and then let's show you the front. So up front, no interior still, but I did pick up a shift boot right here. So this shift boot is going to get slapped onto here all the way down, go right here, fill up the hole, and that'll be sweet. Next thing I got was this right here, this blue handle. Now since I said the interior was blue, luckily I found one and the interior wasn't actually fully trashed on it. The handle on mine is broken. and it's been tried. My dad tried to glue it back a bunch of times. This is like years and years ago, but it is broken. It's been broken for a long time. It looks very bad like that. So for me to find a handle that is maybe not in perfect shape, but definitely a handle, I will be able to unscrew this. If you don't know how to unscrew this, you have to pull the airbag out. It's not too hard, just 2 bolts under there. Airbag comes out with 1 little clip, and then you can just unscrew the little handle up here, and then I can screw this one back in. So I will get to that in a second. Next thing I've got is some gauges right here. You can see that, you know what, this is not the prettiest looking thing in the world, but I have a trans temp gauge, a water temp gauge, and PSI for my bags. Now they do not match these gauges, which makes it look kind of funny, but it is what it is, and it doesn't look too good like this. So if you're sitting in the driver's seat, imagine this is me right here. I look over, that's what I see right there. You know what, on camera it doesn't look that bad, but it's kind of funny looking. But it's weird because when you're looking at it, the gauges aren't really facing you, so you kind of don't see them too well. I would like to make or buy actually a 3 gauge pod holder to simply just angle these, sand all this off. That is why I got another one of these, just so that in case I mess this one up so bad, I have another one I can just throw in here and it will look good as it did before. So gonna probably like sand this down, and I may end up just doing this whole trim piece black. I think it would look kind of cool, you know, offset everything, but that's pretty much what we got going on, and let's get to fixing the interior. So I got the trunk, basically, I don't know why I said trunk, it's a van. Anyways, I got the back all cleaned up, and so what I'm doing here, now you can see that factory comes with these screws here that strip out, they rust, basically junk, okay? You can see on this side, all 4 got stuck in there, you can't take them out. So what I'm doing is replacing them with riv nuts, just like that. So what this is doing is I'm drilling it out, putting an aluminum one in here, and then also a stainless steel bolt that will go through there, clamp it down and everything just the way it would from factory, but now this is actually going to be a lot easier to get out, even if it does end up for some reason getting stuck like the way the other ones did, but it will also make it easier for the next time I want to take the interior apart. So doing the same thing over here, the battery is died, or the battery in the drill has died. So I'm just going to be starting to work on the front. I need to take both seats out. Also, since I'm going to be disconnecting the airbag, I'm going to going like this. I'm going to unhook the battery because I don't want anything to happen right now. So there we go. And then I will be going into here. Oh, and I also did drill holes for the shifter and put rib nuts in there, so now I can place the shifter on top and bolt it down, and it should be all good. So now I'm going to take the, whatever you want to call this thing, out. Sorry, what am I saying? So I'm going to be taking the airbag out now. There's just 2, you can kind of see them right up there. See that bolt right there? And then there's also one right over there, and the airbag will just slide right out. And then there's 2 more bolts up above to pull this off. Very simple. So 1, 2, 3. Hey, and just like that we got the new handle in a couple minutes later, looking pretty good. Got the other seat out, so there's the new one I picked up, and this is the one that I'm taking out. Obviously this one is not perfect either, but would you rather look at this or look at that? I think that's the option right there. So I'm gonna start cleaning up, put the shift boot on, put this panel back in there, and I'm just gonna button everything up in here, and should be looking pretty good. Alright, so I got the interior all back together. Got my shift boot in there. Got the new seat belt. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. So we're just gonna end this off with another clip of my engine bay in case you guys missed it. There it is. There's my engine bay. Beautiful engine bay on a rusty safari van with some nice wheels. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video, and hope you guys enjoyed just my little update. I'm gonna try to keep giving you updates every so often, and peace out. We'll see you in the next one.